What's good, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. This is Mark coming back at y'all again. And y'all, I know it's been a minute since the last time I uploaded a video on YouTube, and the reason being is because I just wanted to take a break from YouTube, and that's why I took a long hiatus, like about a 2-3 week hiatus from YouTube, and because they got other things I wanted to do, aside from making videos on YouTube and all that stuff, and that's why I decided to take a long break and all that stuff. But anyhow, what I really wanted to talk about today was my family and my family tree. And the reason why I want to talk about my family today is because um for one is the chance for y'all to get to know me a little bit better. And two, I left a comment under one of my subscribers' videos about a couple of weeks ago. And you know, and she made the suggestion on me doing this video pertaining to this topic because I was just talking about how some of my family members have this amount of children and all that stuff. And so that's why I'm on here today, just to talk to y'all about my family tree. And with that being said, I'm gonna just roll on right into it. So first off, let me just start with me. um well, both of my parents are in my 50s. I mean, excuse me, both of my parents are in their 50s. They're in their early 50s. And I have a brother who's 18 years old and who happens to be in college, by the way. And let me just get to my mother's side of the family. So, okay, my grandmother on my mother's side of the family had 5 daughters, and my mom just happened to be the middle daughter. And y'all will never guess how much older than my grandfather was than my grandmother on my mom's side of the family. My grandfather was 29 years older than my grandmother when they got married. I'm like, that's old enough to be her father. Can y'all believe it? Cause my grandmother was born in 1938, and my grandfather was born in 1909, and they got married on November 19th, 1957, I believe. And my grandmother was 19, and my grandfather had to be about 48, I believe. Please correct me if I'm wrong. He had to be at least 48 years old when he got married to my grandmother, back in 1957. And me and a friend of mine were just talking about this not too long ago, and she asked me, well, what did your great grandmother, or what did your great grandparents think about your grandmother marrying somebody that's old enough to be her father? I'm like, I don't even know, cause she never even told me what her grandparents had thought about, what her parents had thought about the situation. And so, and by the way, before my grandfather had married my grandmother on my mom's side of the family, my grandfather also had 14 kids from his first marriage. So that was a lot right there. And when he got with my grandmother, at 19, my grandmother ended up getting pregnant by my grandfather and had my aunt like about a year and a half later. She had my aunt at about 20, almost 21 years old. And oh, here's the thing. I forgot to say this. Okay. My great grandmother, my mom's side of the family, which is my grandmother's mother, she had 14 kids, and my grandmother just happened to be the oldest. Like, she had my great grandmother had my grandmother at about 17 years old. And um let me see what else. My great grandmother had 14 kids. My grandmother's the oldest, and she had my grandmother at about 17 years old. And y'all will not believe this. The funny thing is, like, did y'all know that my great grandmother and my grandmother were pregnant at the same time? Like, um, my great grandmother's youngest child just happens to be the same age as my grandmother's oldest child. And there, can y'all? And here's the thing. Here's the coincidence. Um, my my grandmother's youngest sister just happens to be born on the same month as my aunt. And I think my aunt may be a little bit older than my great aunt, like just by a few days. Because they were both born on April of 1959. So, can y'all believe it? Like, my great aunt and my aunt are the same age, and my great grandmother and my grandmother were pregnant at the same time. I'm like, that's just crazy. But let me see what else. But I already said that my grandfather on my mom's side of the family had 14 kids from his first marriage and ended up having five more kids by my grandmother. Well, I guess 20 if you want to include her adopted son, which is my adopted uncle. And so overall, I think my grandfather had like about maybe 19 or 20 kids altogether. And I could be wrong, but I'm just guessing somewhere around that amount. And let me see what else. But that was my mother's side of the family. And let me just get to my dad's side of the family. So, okay. So my dad have two sisters, and those sisters just happen to be twins. And I think my grandfather was about 5 years older than my grandmother on my dad's side of the family. And and I also forgot to say this, like my grandfather on my mom's side of the family had passed away back in October of 2002, which was almost 14 years ago. And my grandfather on my dad's side of the family ended up passing away in 1997, just a few months after my brother was born. And okay, let me see what else. So okay, my grandparents on my dad's side of the family ended up having three kids, and my dad just happened to be the oldest. And my dad happened to have sisters who happened to be twins. And one twin have kids, and the other one don't. And this is the younger twin, I believe. And okay, so my aunt on my dad's side of the family had my cousin at 19 years old. And okay, first of all, my aunt had six kids altogether, and she had my cousin at about 19 years old. And do y'all know how many kids that my aunt would have had if they were still living? She would have had like, okay, let me just break it down. She had my cousin in 1990. Um, she had my other cousin back in '93, but he ended up dying as a baby. And she had another cousin, another one of my cousins back in 2001. Another one in 2003. Another one in 2005. Another one in 2007, and the last one was born in 2008. And okay, so that's six kids living all together. So, but did y'all? Okay, so let me just say this. So after my youngest cousin was born, my aunt ended up getting pregnant again, but unfortunately she had a miscarriage back in 2009. Then back in 2012, my aunt, who just happens to be a twin, just happened to be pregnant with twins at that time. And this was back in 2012, and unfortunately she ended up having another miscarriage. And so that's two right there. Then just 2 years later, my aunt was pregnant with a girl back in 2014, and that girl was supposed to be due on June 15th, I believe, of 2014, but unfortunately she ended up having another miscarriage, and that's the third one so far. And so I'm gonna just think, how many kids would have been living if all of them were living? So six, she got six kids, and I'm talking about my aunt on my dad's side of the family. She has six kids who are living right now, and how many would she have if the rest of the kids were living? Let me see. A cousin of mine died in '93. Oh, I'm sorry, '94. I'm sorry, y'all. '94. My cousin passed away in '94. She had ended up having a miscarriage in 2009. Another one in 2012 when she was pregnant with twins, and she just had a miscarriage back in 2014. So my aunt would have had 11 kids altogether if all of them were still living. And my older aunt, who happens to be another twin, she don't have no kids. And not to mention my mom, like um my grandmother's second youngest child, she also don't have any kids. But and there's nothing wrong with it, because not everybody wants to have kids, so I'm not knocking nobody at all. But not all of my aunts have children. Like most of them do on my mom and dad's side of the family, but one of like they always got to be one that don't have no kids. And y'all, that's basically about it. I hope y'all got something out of it, and I hope I was able to entertain y'all. Please like, comment, subscribe. Oh, and before I go, I just want to give a quick shout out to another YouTuber who happens to go by the name of Young Old Soul One. Y'all, please be sure to check his channel out because he was just talking about how Black History Month isn't celebrated as much as they should, and he did a video about that. He also did a video about the Bill Cosby scandal and something about the Oscars. So y'all please be sure to check his channel out because he's in desperate need for a shout out because I was unaware that he even had a YouTube channel in the first place. So be sure to check out Young Old Soul One's channel out, and I will leave his name down in the description box below. But in the meantime, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and y'all can follow me on Twitter at 504 Mark Anthony. And I'll be back here later on today, with another video because I'm gonna be doing a SWV album review, on a recent album that just came out. Okay, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Peace.